Welcome again to Let's Talk Science with Pastor Dan. I really felt need to talk about the Jeffrey Epstein. The entire thing, whether or not he killed himself. I believe that's going to play itself out. We're eventually going to find out for sure, one way or the other, what happened there. Either here or up there, one or the other. Every truth, every secret will be made known. But I'm going to talk about what this man did and how horrific it is, and why it's so important that we expose the truth to everyone. There can't be any hiding of this information anymore. Everyone needs to know what happened and who was involved. Everyone, because ultimately our position as a people must be to protect the weakest of us, those that can't protect themselves. And we're hearing all kinds of stories of what was done to these children, how horrific it was, how people of power, people of position, abused and misused young children for their own gain. And maybe it was a government operation. We don't know that either, but it's a possibility. But it's really interests me as well, because we get all upset about hurting kids, and we should, without a doubt. But yet, the same people that get all upset have no problem hurting the very, very, very weakest of us. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the unborn. Think about it. If we can't protect that which can't defend for itself at all, then how can we defend anything or anyone? And the blood of the unborn calls out. The blood of those who have been abused calls out. God's wrath will fall, not because he's a vengeful God, but because he's a just God, and because these things just can't go on any longer. And on the other side of that too, if we can't take care of the elderly, my daughter-in-law is Canadian, and up in Canada right now, they just passed the assisted suicide. And it was only for very rare situations. Those numbers are going way up, because inevitably what's going to happen is people that are in that position are going to be made to feel like a burden and move themselves off. My father-in-law passed away a little while ago, and he had dementia. And it was a struggle. My mother-in-law presently now is in a nursing home. She has dementia. But, it's all in God's time. And to move beyond the purpose, to play God, that's wicked. And what happened with that Epstein, those people, that is wicked. And so as a result, I believe God's going to expose it. God's going to bring it about. So if anybody's involved with that, they need to confess, ask for forgiveness, deal with the consequences, because ultimately there are going to be consequences one place or another. I do pray, Father God, for revival to fall. And as that revival falls, people will be broken, truth will be exposed, and all things will come about. All right. That's my thought for today. Hopefully not too bad. Hopefully it didn't wig anybody out. Take care. God bless.